Hello and welcome everyone. So, I wanted to do a review of the year kind of thing. So like 2019's review kind of thing and to what has happened this year and just like the major highlights, which there have been a lot, nicely, which is good. It's really good. I thought I was blurred for a second there. Maybe it's just my eyesight. Anyway, so back in January 2019, I had a few weeks before that been the hoist had been refused by the engineer. He wouldn't fit it because he had to put the steel posts above my head, and he wasn't happy about sort of having that go across my body and head in case anything happened. And so I was at this point where I just thought, things are never going to happen. I'm never going to get out of this house. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd been stuck in for probably about 2 years at this point, since coming out of hospital. Apart from like getting to hospital appointments via the ambulance and things, which were also a struggle anyway. So, but that's a separate thing. And I was like, cabin fever was just coming constantly. I was having it quite a lot. I was also, I'd been struggling to get weight. I'd tried all things the year before. I'd been weighed the year before in the February, and I would say from about the October of the year before, so October 2018, I wasn't watching my calories as well. I was sort of filling in my fitness pal after the year and things like that, and like I said, I tried always. I'd tried to pay for it and everything, and it just seemed like an impossibility. So yeah, I was at a bit of a loss for everything, I think, right then. And then in the February, the hoist was finally fitted. Now, that wasn't as simple as, oh well, the hoist is fitted, you can just get in the wheelchair and go, because that just isn't how it works, unfortunately. I then had to have sling fittings for the hoist itself. However, I did try one of their slings. I was hoisted into the wheelchair, and I have to say, in the beginning, I'm fine with it now, but in the beginning, I had full on, like, I remember holding my breath and then I'm saying, breathe, Leonie, kind of thing, and I was just like, because I was so terrified. I could feel like the anxiety building up, just not having that control. It's very disorientating, and you kind of want to put your hands out at something to help yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's very weird, but and it took us a while to build up, but also the change in my body itself in terms of blood pressure and things, because my legs being down rather than up on the bed, it's a massive change for your body to get used to. So you get like a rush of blood into your legs, which made us very shaky, sort of go very pale, feel very lightheaded and a bit sick and stuff. And it took a while to get back used to sitting around, and it's obviously been something that's built up, but so there was a lot of adjustments to the wheelchair, adjustments to the slings, because I have like lymphedema and lipedema. The slings can dig in my legs, and it was very uncomfortable. So where normally they would bring up like a middle section, so like you would have a part where your legs were hooked through the middle as well, but I couldn't have that because it was too uncomfortable in my legs. It was just ended up gathering and digging in. And so, in all this went on, you know, like all this sort of building up with the sit intolerance. I started at about 5 or 10 minutes, when the shakes and the sweats and all that was horrible. Kept building up till I got a bit further and a bit further and a bit further, and finally tried my electric wheelchair, which I'd had for about a year before, but hadn't tried it. And it was May when I first went outside. I mean, I'd tried it in the house, but I hadn't tried it outside of the house. And May was the first day that I went outside, and I literally just went round by where I lived, round the block, by myself. And that was just amazing, and I absolutely cried my eyes out. And I also remember now, I went out with nothing on my feet. I mean, it was obviously, so it was warm. I had my nightie on, a skirt, nothing on my feet at all. It looked like I'd escaped from somewhere, because, you know, like going round the corner, I just, like, obviously not think, I just didn't care. I was just so happy to be outside, just having that fresh air and that independence, and which, you know, I'll always be thankful for. And I came back into the towards where I lived, up my ramp type thing, and I was cheesy grinning from ear to ear. And my OT, who was their occupational therapist, she was like, "Oh, how was that?" She was so chuffed, you know, as well. And I just burst into tears, but it was like of joy. It was just absolute joy. I was so happy. And I've continued to build up. From the for about a month from then, I just went round and round, out around where I lived, built up every day, a little bit longer and a little bit longer. Every week I would add another sort of 10 minutes, and it got more and more and more, and my body was getting used to it. But it was absolutely wiping us out, I have to say. I don't understand, like, I mean, it must be some sort of massively physical thing, but for most people you wouldn't think it would. But honest to God, I would come back and I would feel like horrible for a while after. It took a really long time not to get that, and I'd be so tired, like absolutely so tired, that sometimes I'd literally have to just go to sleep, because it was the only way to fix it, kind of thing. And I built up and built up and built up, and I got to the point where I was doing about an hour and a half. So on the 19th of June, which was like the day before my 20th birthday, I wish. My birthday's on the 20th, and it was the day before my 44th birthday. My daughter was taking the dog to the park. Like I said, I was able to sit about an hour and a half, and the park's 10 minutes from here. So I thought, oh, I'll go with her, you know, kind of thing. Anyway, so I guess what I didn't realise until being in the wheelchair is the issues that you face with it. Like, I had this sort of ridiculous notion in my head. It was just, oh, you just get in and it's fine, and it'll be great, and I'll go all over and do what I want and whatever. Obviously not thinking, one, about the building up the sit intolerance, which I should have done, because obviously I had to do that before, when I was in the hospital and tried learning to walk again. But I think the other things were on the way to the park with my daughter. When you know, you may have walked these areas hundreds of times before in the past, but then when you go on wheels, it's where the drop down curbs are. If the drop down curbs are okay, sometimes there isn't one at all. You get run into a road and you go, ah, so you have to then go back on yourself and find a way down. Sometimes I was just stuck on the road, and then there was obviously people with cars who just park straight over the path and you can't get round or get past, and I had to on the way to the park I had to go a completely different way because someone had a van just parked right in the way and I couldn't get past, so I had to sort of go round the back way type of thing. Just how vulnerable you feel next to sort of roads, really, especially busy roads. And obviously you're just as vulnerable when you're walking it, but like it feels more vulnerable, I guess. That how actually uneven the path is, and it's sort of the bashing about that you get, and you feel like a kind of a noddy dog in the back of a car or on the front dashboard of a car, just, you know. And I literally had neck and head pain, shoulder pain, you know, off it, whilst like my body got used to doing it, I guess. I got like, it was the first time I'd been really anxious. I had really bad like chest pressure, like and that just feeling of horror that sort of washes over you on the way there. And my daughter was like, "Are you all right? You all right? Do you want to go back?" And I was like, "No, I don't. Like, I don't want to go back," because I just knew if I didn't face it, that I'd just not do it, kind of thing. I was determined to go, so got there. It was the first time I'd seen Jasper run, you know, which was like amazing, but I just felt like I couldn't really enjoy it but as much as I would have, because I just had the thought of, oh, I've got to go back, do you know what I mean? And it was just, I mean, to be honest, coming back wasn't actually as bad as going. And my daughter had to, when we came back, she helped us back into bed, hoisted us back into the bed and everything, got me sorted, got the dog sorted, and then she raced out to meet her dad. And the second she left, I just absolutely burst into tears, proper broke down. I was just so devastated that it wasn't as simple as I thought it would have been. And obviously, you know, I've learnt things since. I've learnt that if I plan ahead, I look on Google Maps and see where I'm going, and that really helps ease the anxiety. And when I've been somewhere numerous times, I know which the way is the best to go. I know how to get there. It's so much simpler. Like it's much easier. So it did get better, obviously, but just that day, that devastation of, actually, this isn't going to be as simple as I thought it would. But having said that, you know, it was still amazing, and I just wish that I appreciated the fact that I'd gone to the park that day with the dog. But to be honest, like I said, I didn't really enjoy it because I just had that whole panic of the thought of going back. So after doing that, later, I think it was late, like the end of the following week, I decided that I could go and see my mum and dad. Now, this was like a big thing for me because I hadn't seen my mum and dad for a year, just over a year, I think it was. So it was it was a few weeks later I decided to go and see them. I was able to sit, like I said, for an hour and a half. It didn't give me very long with them because it takes about 25 minutes ish to get to theirs and about 25 minutes back. I did, like I said, looked online and looked at the area and the maps itself, and to see, you know, how easy it was to get there. But I was determined to do it. I just wanted to be able to surprise them, and they were surprised because we didn't tell them I was coming, and so yeah, they were really chuffed, and so was I, because that was one of the big things. And obviously I've since been numerous times since, and also met them in Tesco a few times as well, so it's just nice to be able to really get to see them and stuff, because obviously they're not as able as the ones were to be able to come and see me. So yeah, so that was a massive thing. That was a really big positive. I was so over the moon to be able to do that, and like, it's just amazing. I've also been to the shops quite a few times now. The first time it was very massive sensory overload. Like, I just did not know where to look. If it was the lights and everything around us. Like, I'd never ever been in B&M, so I chose to go to B&M first, and so that was just like amazing. Like, I was just remembered being sort of like, oh my god, like all this stuff, and you know what I mean. And it was brilliant, but about halfway around I started to get a bit of a headache, but I think it was just such an overload of things to look at, you know. And also just a little bit of worrying about like being in the way of people. I think I apologised to everyone, and I even apologised to people for things that weren't my fault. So this lady knocked something over and I said sorry to her, and I was like, what are you doing? But I think it was just saying sorry to everyone because I felt like I was in the way. But also I'm kind of now at the point that I'm just like, you know what, I'm here. I don't like, I'll still say sorry if I am in the way, but like not to the point where before where I was saying sorry at every little thing, you know what I mean. But it it was amazing. And then I've like since went in Poundland and Tesco, which I've already mentioned, which are both pretty near me. They're about 10 minutes away. And I did this with my daughter, who you know, going shopping with your daughter is something that you kind of just always wanted to do. And it was on, I created a list in the hospital, which was to get back on my feet again. Unfortunately I did do it, but it hasn't stayed. Lose weight, which was another positive that I did for myself. And then there was going shopping with my daughter, and going to a football match with my son. So I've still got that one to do, but I hope to do it probably, I'm not too sure if it'll be next season. Hopefully the season after, if not next season. But so yeah, so going to all the different shops and everything, and I've been numerous times. I've been on my own quite a few times now, which is just fab, you know what I mean. Like, from being someone who was like not leaving the house to like being someone who's going umpteen times. And the fact that not only that is I absolutely hated to be outside before. So obviously I'd gone for years and years where I didn't go out the door. I didn't want to be seen. I was just horrified of the world, I guess. And so to have all this, and it's like seeing it from a new set of eyes in a way. It's like everything's just amazing to me. I'm kind of like, wow, you know what I mean. Just like, I really appreciate it so much. And I guess a lot of it is stuff that like the old me would have took for granted before as well. So but having that sort of time where, you know, not leaving the house, for like obviously not going anywhere on my own for about about 8 years, I think it might be a little bit more, to have now gone shopping on my own, you know what I mean. It's just amazing. Also in the house, I've also been in the kitchen, I've been in the sitting room, I've been in the bathroom, I've been to the pub. Never had anything alcohol. I've just had a meal there, which was really nice. And then I finally got a shower chair and was able to go in the shower, which is again another amazing thing. And like, I think it was probably about 4 years since I'd been in. I just was physically unable, given my size. I couldn't stand for very long when I was walking before, and then obviously I've had all this time where I haven't been able, so it might even be slightly more. So I've literally just had washes in it, like bed baths, I guess. And honest, that first time that I was in the shower, like I could have just stayed there like forever, like the whole time. Like I felt like saying to the carers, just come back this afternoon. You know what I mean? And just being able to like I mean, I've always washed where I can reach myself, you know what I mean? But like doing my hair, because that was one thing I couldn't wash myself, because I used to sort of tip my head over the side of the bed and then just like proper, like keeping my balance was hard enough, like whilst I got my hair washed. So like now to be able to like be in the shower, have my hair washed, do it myself, and just that you just feel so like properly clean. So it's just like amazing. um and also since I've been started going in the kitchen, I've now been cooking for myself and stuff. Well, not cooking for myself as such, but I've cooked, I helped Laura with one meal, and then I wanted to do it as much as I could myself. So basically, she got all of the ingredients out and everything that I would need, put it on the table, and sort of left us to it until it was all ready, and then she put it in the oven for me. So I've made turkey meatloaf and roasted veg, which I did a video about, and I've also baked. I've done cheese scones and sweet scones, fruit scones, sorry, which I've also done a video about. I'm not sure which order these will come out, so you might have seen it already and you might not. um, but yeah, it's just been a phenomenal year, like absolutely phenomenal. And it's had its ups and downs. It's, you know, it's not been without issues, but all those highlights, like, they're just unreal, you know what I mean? Just amazing. um and as far as my weight's gone, like as I said, I mentioned at the beginning, I obviously struggled to get weighed. When I did finally get weighed in March this year, I had gained a stone, which will have been from the October through to the March, where I kind of like relaxed things. Well, it wasn't kind of relaxed things really, it was I just stopped trying, I suppose, as much. I just maybe gave up a little bit, just because nothing ever seemed like, with getting weighed, it just wasn't seem to be possible, and I felt like I'd tried all ways. But as soon as like I was aware, I mean, I didn't expect to gain, to be honest, and as soon as I was aware that I had gained, obviously I wanted to rectify it, because I just didn't want it to be able to, I wanted to rectify it because I just didn't want, I never want to go back to where I was, if that makes sense, and so I needed to rectify it. And I was meant to be weighed on the 17th of December. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, I know that I'd really been good and I tried hard and everything, so I'm guessing that I would have lost weight. And between the March and the October this year, I had lost £10 in the stone that I'd gained, and so I was hoping to have lost the rest of it when I got weighed, so I'm going to class it that I did. um, and hopefully that was the case and I don't get weighed again till February, but I'll hopefully find out then and it'll be better. I mean, obviously I'm having a bit of a relaxed food over the Christmas period, but yeah, hopefully, you know, get back in it. I've relaxed my calories sort of to maintenance calories round the days, but then I'll probably go over on Christmas Day, possibly today, which is Christmas Eve, and Boxing Day, and on also New Year's Eve, so I'll probably have a drink and things like that, but then I'll be straight back on it, and I want to be able to get to February with some decent loss, you know what I mean, and hopefully that works. I will definitely be putting everything into it, because like I said, I can never go back to where I was. and to be honest, I don't feel emotionally attached to food anymore. I could definitely eat through boredom, but not through an emotional attachment. But yes, definitely through boredom. If there was something there and I was bored, I was just watching telly, I could quite easily just put my hand in and eat it. Wouldn't think about it, to be honest. Um, so yeah, so this has been my year, and it, as I said, it's just been phenomenal, really. And I'm really looking forward to next year. I'm gonna do some sort of like not so much like not a resolutions, because I don't do resolutions, but kind of like my goals, many goals for the next year, and uh, hopefully that'll be out pretty soon after the new year. Um, so yes, so hello. I guess I'm future learning because I'm jumping in the middle of this film, video, vlog, whatever you call them, and um, the bit you'll see after is from before. Yeah. But after when coming to edit this, I have realised that I've missed a couple of big things out. I realised that after I did the first part, and then added some extras. However, it was literally sort of half an hour later. But now, this is sort of a few days later, and I'm editing it and thinking, oh, I really missed that out. How can I miss that out? It was such like big moments. So, the big moments that I missed out of my phenomenal year was going to the beach, which was just amazing. So I hadn't been for like probably well over 12 years, and it's what, literally 25 minutes, half an hour in the wheelchair away. Um, so that was pretty amazing, pretty special. It was absolutely freezing because it was winter, um, and it is the northeast and the northeast coast at that. So yeah, it was absolutely freezing, but just magical at the same time. And I did do a video about it. I went to the park also. My daughter was with me and the dog, and it was just fantastic to see the sea and everything. Um, I am aiming to go again, and when it gets a bit warmer, and I will get nearer than I was this time, because we were kind of at the top, but it was just magical to see it again. And then the other thing was going into the town, into the city centre. The last time I went to the city centre, which was, I don't know exactly, but it was roughly, I'm sure Laura was about 10 or 11 and she's 23, so um, 12, 13 years ago. Basically, I'd gone into the town, I'd been building up things, I'd lost about 3 stone at the time, I think it was through Weight Watchers, and I went to, we were in one of the high streets in the town centre, and the kids had gone into Home Bargains, and I had to wait in the queue for the bank because it was really busy, and I'm sure it was near Christmas or something as well. So anyway, it came to my turn at the bank, and there was like a massive queue behind us, and the person behind me was shouting offensive things to us like, oh, fatty, hurry up, oh, you're slow because you're fat, and the bank machine was really slow, and he was intoxicated, and I think it was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and he just repeatedly kept saying it, you know, and I literally just wanted the ground to swallow us up, kind of thing, because I just felt, I mean, I already, like, at the time I just felt so much shame that I just thought, you know, I just wanted to get away. So eventually got my money and everything, and I literally sort of went down to the bottom of the street, and there was like a side street, like a kind of like a back lane type thing, and I sort of went round there, and I kind of trying to calm myself back down, because obviously I got myself a bit upset, and tried to calm myself back down, and then I thought, right, I'll calm myself back down, and then I'll come out and I'll go meet the children. And these two elderly ladies came around the corner, and I was literally sort of, I don't know, 5 feet away from them both, and one elbowed the other and went, "Look at the size of her," and then like pointed at us, and they both just kind of stared at us, mouth wide open, and I thought, I was just horrified, absolutely horrified and devastated, and just felt so ashamed. I literally come running out the back lane, and the kids had come out of the shop, and I jumped in a taxi, and I never went back to the town again. I think the fear of someone saying anything stopped us eventually going. And I mean, don't get us wrong, it wasn't just them. I mean, they had issues before, but like that specific moment, I guess, changed things, and I so wish that I could go back and feel like I do now, because it's such a different person, you know. And so to go to the town again was just amazing, like absolutely amazing. And especially crossing the bridge, because I have a massive fear of heights. I crossed over the bridge, proper having panic attacks and everything, but I did it. And then I had to go and do it again to go into the town, because I literally just crossed the bridge and came back the first time. And I decided, like literally a few days later after crossing the bridge, that I was going to go into the town, because I thought, we've done it. If I leave it, it's just going to be something that sort of sits there, kind of thing. So I spoke to my daughter, and she was like, "Oh, I'll come to town with you," kind of thing. So went to the town and went round. I mean, I went in a few shops like Wilkinson's, Marks and Spencer's, Argos, but just to be able to be in the town and go around and into our like shopping centre, or mall as it's called in America, or mall, that's the way you pronounce it. Like, it was just amazing. But to feel like I do now, because like, I just think, let people say things, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. So yeah, so I just wanted to add this in, because I just thought that it was 2 big moments that I should have said before, and I can't remember. Well, I can't remember why I didn't realise. I really speak good English, me, don't I? I don't know why I didn't remember to put it in, because again, I think there's just been so many big moments this year, which has been so amazing that, like, I've lost count of them, which is a good thing, I suppose. But yeah, so I'm going to go now, and I'm going to give you back to Past Lainey, who has remembered a couple of other things that you need to add in. Bye. I nearly forgot. I don't know how I could forget this, but I nearly did. YouTube. never in a million years did I ever think that I would do YouTube. Like, I could barely, well, not even barely take a photo. I couldn't take a photo. I deleted anything that was took of hers. There is, as I've said before, approximately 30 photographs of us from being in my teens through to a few years ago. And there's about 4,000 of them because I kind of take them all the time. But then even, just the thought of anyone seeing us or whatever, and like, I had such horrifying fear and the nerves of like this, but it's another thing that's given us confidence, like YouTube, and I'd never believed that I would ever do this ever in a million years, and I still find it weird. And the fact that people actually subscribe to us and watch us and want to know stuff that I say, which is, I mean, when I started my blog, it was kind of strange, putting the truth down on paper kind of thing, and now it's like putting the truth out here. But this is the truth, and I think when you've got that control of it, and it's you telling it, and it's you controlling what goes out there, it's quite, in a different way, very empowering. I can't even say it. In a different way, it's quite empowering. So, like, it's just mind-boggling, like, from the first one I've done to like now doing weekly live quizzes, and doing all sorts of different ones, and actually enjoying it, which is another thing. I love like the interaction. I like getting to know people, and I have got to know loads of people because of it. So it's always, it's just another massive positive, another massive thing that I never believed I would do. So yeah. And the last one, which I also nearly forgot, was winning the poetry competition. That was a really big deal for me. Like, in fact, I got quite upset when I found out, like, but in a good way, like happy tears kind of thing. Just like, I never really shared it before, and then obviously I've since shared it, and like anything that I wrote, and people seem to be interested and seem to think it's good and stuff, so that's really cool. But then just to like sort of have that competition, like knowing all those people were part of that, and then you won it, and I mean, it was just like, it was just amazing, and obviously a bonus book tokens as well. So yeah, so that's everything, and it's just been absolutely mind-blowing year, like in terms of all the things that's happened. And yet if I go back to January and where things were at and how I was feeling and all of that, it's just like a world away, and it just shows how much things can change and how much you can do, I guess. And the more I want, that's the other thing as well, it's like the more I want, it's just, I really don't know what's to come next year, but I know one thing, that I'm really looking forward to it, and to doing more and more things and getting a bit further forward with everything. And yeah, I'm going to do a video about what the plans I have to come, kind of mini goals and things for next year. Definitely no resolutions, I don't do them in. But just some mini goals that I've got planned, and then obviously see what happens, but I will do a separate video for that. And if I haven't said it already, thank you very much for everyone who has supported us and encouraged us, whether that be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. But like, people are just amazing and so nice, so I thank you all very much. And yeah, please like and subscribe and comment below, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.